There are few aircraft in the United States Air Force's inventory that command the same level of respect and outright affection as the Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II. To the troops on the ground, it is not the Thunderbolt II, it is the Warthog, or simply, the Hog. This is not just an airplane, it is a guardian angel with wings. Its reputation was forged in the fires of conflict, from the deserts of Iraq to the mountains of Afghanistan. When ground forces are pinned down, facing overwhelming odds, the distinctive sound of the A-10's twin engines is a sound of imminent salvation. It represents overwhelming, unapologetic firepower delivered with pinpoint accuracy to protect those in peril below. The Warthog's popularity is not the product of sleek marketing or stealth technology. It comes from something far more fundamental: its unwavering dedication to the close air support mission. Unlike multi-role fighters that are jacks of all trades, but masters of none, the A-10 was designed from the ground up for one purpose: fly low, fly slow, and destroy enemy ground targets, all while absorbing incredible punishment and bringing its pilot home safely. This singular focus has made it an icon. Soldiers and Marines share stories like folklore of the Hog turning the tide with a single terrifying burst. The name Warthog is an endearment, born from its unapologetically brutish functional look. Blocky, powerful, and built around its massive cannon. Its straight wings, twin tails, and high-mounted engines prioritize survivability and payload over speed and elegance. Today, on October 8, 2025, despite repeated attempts to retire it, the legend continues. Its story, one of resilience in the air and in the halls of the Pentagon. The latest chapter, sharpening its primary weapon, the GAU-8 Avenger, to hunt the most modern, heavily armored prey. The story of the A-10 begins in the Cold War, with the looming threat of a massive Soviet tank invasion across Europe. US planners needed an aircraft that could single-handedly halt an armored blitzkrieg. The AX program launched in the 1960s to find that solution. Requirements were harsh: high survivability, heavy ordnance, superb low-speed maneuverability, and a powerful anti-tank cannon. It was a response to Vietnam's lessons, where ad hoc CAS aircraft proved vulnerable. Fairchild's YA-10 won over the Northrop YA-9, revolutionary in simplicity and pilot protection. The pilot sits inside a titanium bathtub, shrugging off armor-piercing and high-explosive hits. Engines are mounted high to shield from ground fire and reduce infrared signature. Self-sealing fuel systems, triple redundant hydraulics, and a manual backup keep the jet flyable after damage. Large straight wings deliver lift at low speeds, letting the A-10 loiter, maneuver through canyons and urban terrain, and visually confirm friendlies and targets. Rugged landing gear enables operations from damaged or unimproved strips, closer to the front. First flown in 1972, entering service in 1977, it honors the P-47 Thunderbolt's ground attack legacy. In the Gulf War, A-10s destroyed over 900 tanks, 2,000 other vehicles, and 1,200 artillery pieces. They came home riddled with holes, missing sections, wounded engines, yet the Warthog brought them back. It proved without a doubt to be the ultimate tank buster and a ground soldier's best friend. At the core of the A-10 is a weapon so large and integral that the aircraft was built around it: the General Electric GAU-8 Avenger, a 7-barrel Gatling-style autocannon, one of the most powerful ever mounted on an airplane. The system includes the barrel assembly, a linkless feed, and a massive drum magazine, roughly the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. It comprises a significant portion of the aircraft's empty weight, its primary weapon system, mounted on the centerline so recoil does not push the airplane off aim. Traditionally employed as a devastating anti-armor weapon, it fires 30mm rounds at selectable rates, 2,100 or 3,900 rounds per minute, designed to shred the top armor of Cold War-era tanks. Combat loads mix PGU-14B armor-piercing incendiary, often with depleted uranium penetrators, and PGU-13B high-explosive incendiary. When the trigger is squeezed, a stream of projectiles tears the air, often described as a terrifying BRRRT. Power with precision, 80% of rounds in a 40-foot circle from 4,000 feet. A typical 1-second burst fires about 65 rounds, saturating the target area. For decades, top or rear attacks defeated where armor is weakest. Depleted uranium penetrators made short work of rolled homogeneous armor. But the battlefield evolved. Composite armor, spaced arrays, and especially explosive reactive armor disrupt traditional penetrators, challenging the GAU-8's classic ammunition and raising questions about continued relevance. In response to modern armor protection systems, the Air Force is sharpening the Warthog's primary tusk. Recent tests focus on a new generation of 30mm ammunition designed to overcome advanced main battle tanks. While details remain undisclosed, the goal is clear: restore GAU-8 dominance against heavily protected targets. This is a significant leap in ammunition technology, aimed at defeating systems built to nullify it. Core objective: neutralize explosive reactive armor and still penetrate base armor. Likely solution: a multi-stage penetrator or tandem charge warhead adapted to a cannon shell. A small initial charge detonates the ERA. Microseconds later, the main penetrator drives through. Proven on missiles, adapting to high-velocity cannon rounds is a major engineering feat. Secure ranges like the Nevada Test and Training Range validate performance under realistic conditions. Older tank hulls are fitted with ERA and composite arrays for live fire evaluation. A-10s execute combat-mimicking profiles, strafing from various angles and altitudes, high-speed imagery and radar capture flight, impact and energy transfer. Analysts ask, was ERA defeated? How deep is the penetration? Was the damage a kill? Trials refine tactics, techniques and procedures, optimizing angle, range, and burst length. A steeper dive may better defeat top attack protections. Test data informs final ammo design and the A-10 training curriculum, a critical step to ensure practical lethality on future battlefields. The new 30mm ammunition outsmarts modern armor. Traditional AP strikes trigger ERA, whose outward blast disrupts the penetrator and deflects energy. The countermeasure, a hardened precursor tip to detonate ERA, followed microseconds later by the primary penetrator. Freed to use its mass and velocity to punch through composite or thick steel armor. Likely materials: advanced tungsten alloys or new generation depleted uranium for extreme density and resilience, turning the tank's own defense into a gateway rather than a barrier. This changes the calculus for A-10 pilots, previously limited to weak spots. Now a wider range of attack vectors becomes viable, front, side, and top, with greater confidence. Increased lethality means less time exposed, lining up perfect shots, boosting survivability. Genius is inside the casing. Same external dimensions, weight, and ballistics. Plug and play with the GAU-8. Integration requires minimal changes, no costly hardware mods. The purpose is straightforward and vital: keep the Warthog a credible threat to top-tier armor. As near-peer tanks gain protection, traditional rounds lose edge. These tests close the gap and leap ahead. It signals the A-10 is not being left behind in great power competition. Upgrading the cannon preserves a cost-effective, specialized CAS asset. 5th-gen fighters can strike ground targets, but at higher cost, and without the Hog's loiter and toughness. Enhance lethality, prolong service life, and keep faith with those who count on the Hog overhead. With new wings, avionics, and targeting upgrades already in place, the cannon upgrade completes the picture. For those who fly the A-10, it is more than a machine. It is a trusted partner in a high-stakes mission. Hog drivers train relentlessly, not just to fly, but to understand ground maneuver and speak the infantry's language. They master the art of putting ordnance on target, dangerously close to friendlies. From the cockpit, the view carries immense responsibility. Soldiers and Marines depend on their skill, precision, and courage. Flying the Warthog is visceral, low and slow, intimately connected to the terrain and the fight. A functional cockpit and a bubble canopy keep the pilot's eyes where they matter most, outside. Firing the GAU-8 feels like a controlled earthquake, cordite in the air, a palpable deceleration. A line of fire connecting pilot to target. A focused moment of overwhelming violence, delivered in defense of others. Pilots recount returning with hydraulic failures, damaged engines, and holes the size of basketballs. One famous mission: flying over an hour on manual reversion alone, and landing safely. Stories like these forge trust. The Warthog will get the job done and bring them home. In an age of stealth jets, hypersonic missiles and drone swarms, a 1970s attack plane still proves indispensable. Nothing matches its close air support, proximity, responsiveness and precision at low altitude. Its presence boosts friendly morale and terrifies the enemy. The roar of the GAU-8 has a psychological impact all its own. Loiter time provides persistent overwatch and situational awareness the fast movers cannot match. It is rugged and cost-effective, perfect when air superiority is established. With bombs, rockets, and a powerful cannon, one sortie can service diverse targets efficiently. It can operate closer to the fight, reducing logistical strain. A human in the loop matters. Rapid, context-rich decisions in complex, fast-changing firefights. The future of the A-10 is debated, but its sunset has been pushed further over the horizon. A significant portion of the fleet will fly into the 2030s, and potentially beyond, thanks to modernization. Performance and upgrades, new wings, avionics, comms, and targeting pods keep it relevant. The GAU-8 ammunition tests may be the most crucial life extension step yet. Expect incremental upgrades, better sensor fusion, targeting pod management, data links, helmet-mounted displays, and smart munitions. The goal is not transformation, but sharpening what it already does best: lethal, survivable TAS interoperable with ground forces. The A-10's eventual replacement is an open question. The F-35 will assume many roles, but a one-for-one swap is unlikely. Low cost, survivability, specialized design, and a powerful cannon inform future KS thinking, especially pilot protection. The Warthog set a high standard for KS that will be hard to match. These new GAU-8 tests are a declaration of intent. The Air Force will maintain dominant KS against evolving threats. The A-10 is a living legend. While its final sunset will come, newly enhanced capabilities ensure the Warthog will continue to hunt for years to come.